Mike Montero here with referee Jack Reiss. He's going to be refereeing the Golovkin-Monroe fight tomorrow night. Mr. Reiss, if you could, talk about how excited you are for that fight, for that assignment, and how you see that fight playing out.
Well, first of all, it's a blessing to get any assignment, and especially something this big. It's very exciting. I feel blessed to be part of it. And these two guys are both great fighters. Willie is no pushover. He's coming to fight. He's in great shape. He does not look drained or having any problems. So I'm expecting a good, hard fight, and you just never know.
You're actually an LA guy, so you grew up out here with the Lakers. They used to play here in this building. How does it feel to be having an assignment here and then boxing coming back to the Forum after so many years of it being away from here?
Well, I actually grew up in Brooklyn, New York, but I moved out here about 37 years ago, was an LA fireman for 31 years, and came to this place. I had season tickets to the Kings when Gretzky played here, millions of Laker games, not millions, but lots of Laker games, and being from LA for the last 36 years, it really does have a lot of meaning. This is the place where I used to come watch boxing. Forum boxing was unbelievable back in the day, big championship fights, so to be here is tremendously exciting.
And you're being from New York, you're coming out here. You know, New York used to really be the hotbed of boxing in America, and now it seems like LA is. It seems like the Southern California area, there's so much action out here. Would you say that this area is carrying boxing in America right now?
I wouldn't say we're carrying boxing, and my personal opinion is that the mecca of boxing today is Las Vegas. They do the largest fights that are out there because of the ease. People could fly in, great hotel rooms, they don't need a car, everything's cheap. But we surely dwarf them and anyone else in the country with the amount of fights we do per year. We do 200 shows a year. They might do 40 or 60 shows a year at the most. And Southern California, there's so many jobs out here that we tend to get a lot of the people that get into boxing as well. And we do a lot of boxing and MMA out here.
Could you talk about the state of reffing in boxing right now and judging? There seems to be a lot of controversy with some of the decisions and some of the stoppages from fans. When you're in there and you got a guy that's getting pummeled, how do you make that decision of when to stop a fight, when to jump in, knowing that there's going to be criticism coming your way?
Well, first of all, this job that I have comes with the territory is criticism, and I listen to the criticism and I take any responsibility when it fits. But as far as with the fighters go, my job is to protect them from unnecessary harm. I can't protect them from harm. They chose to get in there just like a fireman, a cop, or somebody in the military. But when they can no longer intelligently defend themselves, it's time for me to get in. When a guy gets knocked down, when he gets up, I have 8 to 12 seconds to determine if he's able to intelligently defend himself. And we want to err on the side of safety, so we look at what had happened prior to that. If it's early in the fight, if he's got a full tank of gas, we're going to give him that extra shot to do it. But if he's had a long history, round after round after round, of taking a pummeling and then goes down hard, hasn't won on any scorecards, what's the point? They're so tough, we have to protect them from their opponent. We have to protect them from their corners because their corners aren't taking the punches, and we have to protect them from themselves because they're warriors. So safety is always first, and I'm sorry to say, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and I'll take the criticism.
Do you feel like the criticism's gotten worse in the age of social media, where everybody's on Twitter, everybody's on Facebook, and there's memes and there's little clips of the stoppage going nonstop? Has it gotten worse in this age?
Absolutely. Before I even get out of the ring, this thing sometimes is posted places, and I'm walking out, and people are showing me, what just happened. And, it just comes with the territory. I do wish that yourself and the rest of the legitimate media would attend. We have a media day for boxing coming up. We had it already for MMA. We would like to teach you guys, we would like to illuminate to you guys what our criteria is, what our rules are, so you're better educated, so you could then educate the fans better, so maybe people will have a better understanding of why and when we have to stop a fight. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I'm inviting you to our media days June 6th.
Hey, all right, I'll be there. June 6th, that works for me. You heard it, folks. I'll be there.
We're going to have you shadow referee. You're going to get in there and ref some guys sparring. You're going to learn how to judge fights, and then you're going to actually get in and understand what it's like to move and keep focus. See, in every other sport, boxing and MMA are unique, and I hope I'm not going off on a tangent here, but boxing and MMA are unique in this respect. In every other sport, there's a team of officials, and when something happens so fast that the naked eye can't really interpret it very quickly, They call time. They get in a huddle. What'd you see? And they make a decision what's best for the sport and for that person. In boxing, we're not allowed to call timeout because if someone's got an advantage, we take away that advantage from the guy that's hurt. So it's on us. It's now, and it's right or wrong. We live with it for the rest of the time. And we want you guys to understand what it feels like, and just be better educated to educate the fans.
Well, let me ask you, following up on that, what do you think about instant replay? Because you've got 60 seconds between rounds, you've got the time, there's monitors ringside. Would you support something like that?
I would totally support instant replay in certain situations. Situations that could dictate whether the stoppage was whether a cut was from a butt or a punch, or situations where the outcome of the fight could be changed that the correct guy gets the win, but not in all situations, because you could have people calling timeout to give their fighter a rest. We've got to figure out a way to do it where only when it affects the outcome of the fight. I'm totally for it. I'd also, here in California, we have something that nowhere else in the world that they do, and we're allowed to poll the judges. If, it's dynamic, it's moving, it's changing. Sometimes instead of being perpendicular to the fighters, I'm parallel with them, I'm behind them, and I miss a butt or a punch. I have the ability in between rounds to ask the judges, butt or a punch, butt or a punch. And what they tell me I can go with, and I can change my own ruling from when I was in there. I'd like to see that more out throughout the world as well.
So June 6th, the event you talked about, where is that, and how can people find out more about it?
Our executive officer, Andy Foster, is going to put out a media release to let everybody know we're going to do it in the daytime, or possibly even the day before at the weigh-ins. It's for the fights that are going to be at StubHub on the 6th. There's some championship fights. So what they were setting up possibly was like this: on the day to weigh-in, after we're done, we go in a room, we're going to give you a couple-hour clinic, and then we're going to have some fighters there, and you guys are going to get in and see what it's like. And we're going to have you actually at the event shadow judge with the judges, sit in the same type of chair and try to catch all the action when it's moving so dynamically.
Well, I'll be there. So thanks a lot, Jack Reiss, for taking the time, and thank you for your service here in the community.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Very nice to meet you.